this is Cougar with your Trendwire Fashion update for September 13th. Now today is the last day of New York Fashion Week, Spring 2013 collections, and we're sad to see it go, but so many great things came on the runways, so many exciting photographs we got to view from out here on the left coast in Los Angeles, and of course we really paid attention to YouTube's live runway. So I mean, I was so glad that for the second year in a row, I think YouTube really had that great streaming of what was going on so that we could catch it and all of you could catch it around the world. There were a lot of celebrities, of course, at Fashion Week. We heard about all the crazy parties, and there was even a $1 million lawsuit laid down recently by Zach Posen's publicist, who was actually slapped by a French editor right before the show. So there was some crazy stuff that happened, and you really, this is Trendwire. This is Trendwire Fashion, so what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about trends. I wanted to tell you guys about the hottest trends that came out of New York Fashion Week, and that way you guys can really prepare for spring 2013. Now, the big trend, what was really, really hot, one of the best shows that everybody talked about was Marc Jacobs, of course, and that really popped the trend of stripes. Stripes, were big on the runway at Marc Jacobs, Y3, Alexander Wang, DKNY, and Diane von Furstenberg. If you guys go back and check the images of all of those different runway shows, that's where you'll see just stripe mania, a lot of influence from the 60s and the 60s dandy. So stripes, of course, were big. The second big one, the big color for spring, is actually going to be what they're calling lemon chiffon, or what I like to affectionately refer to as yellow. Yellow was really big at Carolina Herrera, Zach Posen, Chado, Ralph Rucci, and of course DKNY. When they came up with this lemon chiffon thing, I love the elegant dresses and different pieces that they put together using that great spring color. Now, we've been talking about a trend that we thought might occur at Fashion Week, but we weren't sure, and that was the trend of actually the influence of 50 Shades of Grey. And it really did make a big impact at Fashion Week. We're at least thinking that the leather harness trend that was so prevalent at Fashion Week over this last week was inspired by 50 Shades of Grey. We saw the leather harness dress from BCBC Max Azria, Jason Wu, Hervé Leger, Wes Gordon, Richard Chai, and even Rebecca Minkoff. So I've only seen one in person, one out in real life on the streets. We'll see if this catches on as a big trend because it is a little bit risque to wear. But it could definitely make a splash in the springtime. And just kind of a staple every year, we saw a really big influence of prints in the summertime. The prints are shifting a bit from more floral prints, but prints were big on the runway. We saw China patterns, a lot of paisleys even, kind of going back to the 70s. But just really interesting, unique prints that I've never seen before coming out of Nicole Miller, Tacoon, Tory Burch, and Derek Lam. And then finally, the last big trend that we wanted to cite was the aquatic trend. The first time I saw the aquatic trend on the runways was from Monique Lillier this last weekend, but we also saw it at Charlotte Ronson and again at Zach Posen. When I say aquatic, I'm talking about mermaid-style dresses and, of course, really rich aquatic blues and like seafoam green colors. So, again, to recap, your top trends from New York Fashion Week Spring Collections were stripes, lemon chiffon, leather harnesses, prints, and of course the aquatic look. Somebody else was trying to tell me that one trend that might come in the spring will be the return of the fanny pack. God, I hope not, because I hated the fanny pack as a kid in the 80s. I hate it now, and it's one of my favorite things to make fun of whenever I see tourists walking around the city. So anyways, that was Cougar with your Trendwire Fashion update, your wrap-up from New York Fashion Week. Can't believe it's over, but we got LA Fashion and Paris Fashion Week coming up pretty soon. We'll catch you tomorrow. Find us on trendwire.com/fashion and on Twitter at JustNowTrending.